Hi everybody, this is Lakshminarayanan and today I'm going to teach you a chess lesson. So you can see this position which is on the board. It's black to play and win. I know most of you can win this position easily because you see the king cannot cross the rank, so wherever the king moves you can slowly bring your king towards his king and make checkmate with the queen. But in this position you should make checkmate without using the king. So this is the challenge. Okay, let's see how black does that practically. In order to make checkmate, first of all black needs to drive his king somewhere here. Then imagine his queen will come here and make a checkmate. Okay, so let's see how he does that practically. Okay, so first he is restricting the number of squares which the king has access. Okay, let's see. So he is just taking the c1 square, so the king must go to the e1 square. After that the queen comes closer, so the king goes to f1, then the queen comes to d2, so the king comes to g1, now the king comes to e2. So now you notice that the king has only one square left, that is the h1 square. Okay, so now black cannot play this move. You know why? Because it's going to be a stalemate. Okay, so how can black bring the king to this side? So let me show you an idea. So there are two options here. I'll just show, but queen e4, this is the winning move. I'll explain you why. Because if you keep check here, when the king comes here, notice this position. Okay, now it's whose turn to move? The king came from here to here, so it's this position, it's black to move, but you should convert this position and make it white to move. So if you able to do that, then you can win this position. That's why queen e4 is the best move. Okay, so now white has got two options. Either you can come here or h2. First let me show what happens if he comes to g1. So if he comes to g1, now you can make this move. Now you notice that the same position which we saw before, that time it was black to move, now it's white to move. So white should come to h2. There is no much option, so its squares are very restricted. So after he comes here, now you need to restrict lot of squares. So see, you need to cover this rank. So the queen comes to f1. So black takes many squares as possible, so the king is left with only one square, that is to g3. Okay, so when the king comes here, now you need to cover this rank as well. See, you can play this move queen e2 and you can cover much squares as possible. So let's see what if the king was here. Again you can cover this rank. So the king must come here, so you can come closer, and notice that the king cannot go here. You know why? Because it's going to be a checkmate directly. So the king must come to h4. This is the only option. So the king comes to h4. So now you can leave a check here, and see you have pushed the king to the H file. It's corner, so the king comes here. Now the king is trying to run away, so you're going to restrict this square. So you're going to play queen g1, taking the square from the king, so the king must go to h4, so queen comes to g2, again taking the square, so the king must come to h5. So now you can make checkmate easily. Can you spot that? It's very simple. You see, queen comes to h3. You just made a checkmate, as the king cannot escape. Okay, let's go back to the position. So in this position for queen check, why don't the king go to h2? Okay, now you see, now you can play this move actually and stop the and restrict the number of squares. So the king must come here. There is no much options. So when the king comes here, again you can play to e2. Now you see the king has got only one square, so now you can get the same position. So this is the key position. So so now it's whose turn to move? It's white's turn to move. Sorry, it's white's turn to move. See, so white has to come here. Now you can again repeat the same maneuver, covering these squares. So as soon as he gets here, you can do that again. So if he comes here, you can again do the same thing. So he must come here, so he can come here. So he should go here. Now check, pushing him to the h3. Now covering the g1 square. So he does not come to h2. So you are pushing him to h4. So again coming closer. So after the king comes to h5, you can make checkmate with queen h3. Okay, so you can keep this position and check it yourself on the board. Thanks a lot. Bye.